Welcome to Recommended Apps feature in BC 2021 Wave 2. Hey, I'm Eric, and one of the things we got with version 19 was a brand new app from Microsoft called Recommended Apps, and the idea is that partners can pre-populate this app with the apps that the partner recommends that the customer gets, and I totally get the point that with AppSource closing in on almost 2,000 apps, it's beginning to look for the right app has become way more difficult now than when there only were a few hundred. But then again, there's so much more choice. But I totally get that we need to provide some sort of guidance to our customers, saying, hey, this is a good app because that's what we already do. So putting that into some sort of system would be great. Anyway, in this video I'm going to take a look at that new thing and see how it works and come along on the journey. So in reality, this starts here on the release plan, I guess. So here it's called List of Trusted Apps. The final incarnation is called a recommended app. But well, that's pretty much what I said. That's what's on here. There's not really much detail on how this actually works. But if we go into a not that Business Central, let's go into another Business Central. It's not for lack of Business Central's Business Centrality. How do you say modern one Business Central in English? Business Centrals, I guess. Wow. It's late night here in British Columbia, and it's raining, by the way. So I can go and say, oh, there's a page called Recommended Apps. Nobody has recommended me anything. If we take the page inspector, Control Alt F1, we can see that all this is coming out of an app called Recommended Apps. So I guess the easiest way would be to go to Extension Management and locate that. Somewhere here we have Recommended Apps. So there's a new app from Microsoft. So step one, and I totally did that before I started the video, would be to create a, actually I should probably use ID instead of that, or hang on, yeah. So add a dependency to this new app. So we go into, let me make this bigger so you guys can see what goes on. We go into app.json in the dependencies array and add a new object, and here we add ID, name, publisher, and version. And this is exactly, if we grab, click this one, we can see we got name, version, publisher, and app ID. So those 4 fields, we put them in to this, and we can do a download symbols. And this one failed because something is open. That's sometimes happens. So let's actually, oh, I think it's downloaded. So we're good. So we can see we have a new app. And by using the ALAZ, we can actually look and see what's in this app from Microsoft. And there's just one table, and if we click all, we can see that it's only a 6 object app. But anyway, lots of stuff can be done in 6 objects, I guess. So we have a table, recommended apps. We have a couple of pages, a list, and a card. We have 2 code units. So we have an an interface style code unit and an implementation code unit. So this is classic Microsoft. We have a delete function that calls a delete function in the implementation code unit. And we have an enum app recommended by. There's only one choice, your Microsoft reseller. Okay. So I guess the first thing we should do is probably see if we can populate this guy. So let's take our trusted. Actually, I went in and said 4750 as my startup object. So I wonder if, let's just check that page again. Yes, we can extend this guy. And there's nothing going on here, so we can just go and say, you know what? Extend recommended app list. Rec app list. There we go. So on open page, let's get a variable of that code unit. Rec app. Code unit recommended apps, and in here we have rec app dot delete all apps, delete app, get app URL, insert app, refresh image and update app. Okay, so I guess we're gonna insert an app, and the first parameter is an ID. So that's just, you know, a primary key, so we can just create a GUID and be done with that. Now we got a sorting ID. I guess my recommendation should always come first, so let me make a small number. Name, let's take the simple object designer, because I just made a new release of that one not long ago. If I'm able to spell it. Publisher, that would be me. And short description, add fields and API, add fields to tables, pages, and report. No, this is short description. No code development tool for BC. How about that? And then add fields to tables, pages, and reports, and create API and expose data as API pages, all without writing any code. That's how we fly. And then we need recommended by. Let's actually go down here and say recommended by, so we can do recommended by. That's an enum. There's only one option here from your Microsoft reseller. And do we have any more options? Then we need a app source URL. Okay, so let's go find that one. I think I actually have that here. Here's the simple object designer. So let's grab that URL and put that in here. Wow. I guess somebody gets confused by an enum and a field, because there's also a field call. So that's actually wrong. Huh. That's a bug. Anyway, I guess this is it. So let's hit F5 and see what happens. I will log in. Let's make this big enough for everyone. And there you go. So now I have the simple object, and you can see that's actually pretty cool. So it pulled the logo image from AppSource. That's pretty nice. What do I do if I click on it? I get the stuff I wrote. I don't get the, Oh, the first line is just here, but not here. And I get a link that just takes me to AppSource. That's all good. So what if I now go to, I think I know the answer to this, but let's say that I was now a customer and my friendly partner has added something into my system here. Would I expect that now when I'm on this list, I get the simple object design is right here on the front page anyway, but would I expect that I get all the recommended apps first? So how am I supposed to discover this? So if I go back to my front page, this page contains sensitive data, blah blah blah. Maybe if I switch to not administration of user groups and permission, but let's say I'm a business manager. I can pretend. So I'm not getting anything about recommended apps here. If I get started, there's nothing here. It's pointing me to the apps. So can we take a closer look at what's actually in that app again? Just so I'm sure I'm not missing it. And if I'm missing something, let me know in the comments below. So we got a page, we got a list. So no, we got a list, we got a card, we got a table of the data, we got the code unit, and we got the enums. And what's actually happening in this code unit? Insert app, that's what we called it. Just creates a record, and then what happens here? So we pull the data from AppSource, I guess, and we pull the image, and we can delete apps and get the URL and UL. That was sort of Danish. I'm sorry about that. Oh, I love it that AppSource is not very friendly. We got these long, strange URLs, and even Microsoft can see here is fighting with them. Download the logo. So that's it. So the only way a customer can get to these are to actually go in here and search for recommended apps. And now every time I open it, I get a new one of the same. So that's a pretty cool thing. But hang on. So could we hack this? Oh, no, that's the wrong word. Could we be creative about the usage? Because I think I can. There were a function called regapp.delete all apps. So what would prevent me from actually adding into recommended by value 1 an app? Caption equal an installed app. So now I would say that, hey, this app, so I would imagine me adding this code to an app. And then that app, not your reseller, because I don't see this being restricted in any way to anyone. So could I just, every time somebody installs one of my apps, I would spam this list with all my other apps and say, hey, nowadays those are recommended. So if I go and look at this guy now, this is recommended by an installed app. Ha. And by the way, I could also delete recommendations somebody else added to this thing. So if I really want to be hostile, then I could go in and see, hey, somebody's recommending my competitor. So let me delete that record out of the recommended table and add my own. Sorry if I'm suddenly getting into Erik the Hacker, but I totally get what Microsoft is trying to achieve here, but isn't this kind of half-baked? And even with all the good intentions. So sorry, I went down to the rabbit hole of people with bad intentions. But if a customer goes in and they create a new sandbox, they go into the admin center and they create a sandbox. I don't know about that. So I will always be late to the party, so to speak. So how do I actually get to inject something into this? So I think that in order for this to make sense, at least in the world of my customers, I would kind of have to imagine that, somewhere on Partner Center, I would maintain the trusted apps or the recommended apps, and whenever one of my tenants spool up a new environment, then something would go and pull the list of those apps from Partner Center, and then when customers go to the marketplace to search for app, they should see the recommended apps at the top or something like that. Let me know in the comments below if I'm totally off, and this is exactly what we need, because I'm kind of feel let down here. Anyway, I think that's it for recommended apps. I totally get what Microsoft are trying to achieve here. I don't think, maybe this is just the beginning, and what we're going to see something amazing very soon along the lines that I'm describing, because I've really just the fact that, hey, you need to teach the customer to search for recommended in order to get this list, which is counterintuitive for how else they're searching for apps. The other variant is that this has nothing to do with inside BC. To be honest, this might actually be more of an app source thing, but that might be even harder to achieve. So, when you're logging into AppSource as a user, Microsoft know who your reseller is, and then again pull a list of saying, hey, these are the apps your reseller is recommending. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I would love to hear your opinion. Yeah, now you got mine. So please let me know what you think. Until next time, have a wonderful day, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.